Hi, welcome back. My name is Peter. This is Peter Fiction, the place where we do not have the brains for literary fiction. Welcome back to another week, another video. Today I will be doing a different type of video, at least I will try to do it. I enjoy watching other people's reading vlogs, so I decided to make one of my own. I'm not sure how this is going to work, but I'm happy to do it. So I was thinking about what book to select for my first ever reading vlog, and lately I have been thinking very much about my childhood and thinking about my past self, and I am really nostalgic about those simpler times. And every time I see something that I really liked as a kid, like a TV show or a book I used to like, or a movie or a video game that I used to play, my brain is transported back in those days where I had much less problems and life was very exciting. Everything felt new and fresh, and I had no life experience, so everything was an adventure. Sometimes I feel this pressure in my chest when I think about my childhood because I really miss those days. I wouldn't change being an adult, but I wish I could leave as a child for at least one day. There is this movie that I really liked when I was younger. During the past 5 or 6 years, I have thought many times of buying the book and reading it, but I never did. And I decided that it was time for me to do it. I don't think there will ever be a better time to read this book than my first ever reading vlog. This book might not be what you think. Since I was a child when I loved that movie, I still love it. I haven't seen it in many years, but this isn't a typical movie that kids love, I think. But for me, that movie was The Bridge to Terabithia by Catherine Patterson. I know this is, spoiler alert, I know this is a sad book. This is a sad movie because I haven't read the book yet. But I love that movie, and I always sat on the couch and watched it when it was on TV because I couldn't watch it on demand back then. And basically, this is a story about a small town, and a little girl moves to that city with her family, and she moves across the street from a young boy who is this guy over here, Josh Hutcherson. This was my introduction to that legend. This girl challenges the boy in ways that he wouldn't be challenged in this small town otherwise. Like, this girl has no TV at her place, her parents are artists, and I remember them hand painting the wall in their house. And this family that moves in is very, very different to Josh Hutcherson's family. And Leslie, the girl, teaches the boy, whose name is Jesse, how to use his imagination to make life very fun. While I was watching it, I was very intrigued by that concept. I wanted my life to be like that. I wanted to view life like a fairy tale. I wanted magic things to exist. I wanted to go to Hogwarts. I remember my aunt one day was saying to me that she was accepted in Hogwarts, and I was crying the entire day because she told me she could not take me with her. It was a sad life. Or for Pokemon to exist. Like, I was desperate for magic to exist. So this book made me think that maybe magic does exist, but maybe it isn't visible. Maybe I can create magic in my head. And maybe, now that I think about it, maybe this is what started my desire to write books and create stories and create magic on my own. So this is very sentimental to me, and I will be reading it today. The book is, first of all, I really like this cover. It has the most iconic scene of the movie. Yes, I think this will be a very quick read because it is a bit over 170 pages, but the font is very, very big. One thing I like very much about this book, this edition, is that in the first page it has a prompt for me to write my name, property of, and this is my name. So yeah, I will be starting it today and hopefully finishing it today because I have to read Onyx Storm after that, and I can't wait. So without any further ado, let's get to read this book. So, Bridge to Terabithia. You are so old, you should probably be made of papyrus. Okay, now let's read it. So, update on Bridge to Terabithia. I have reached page 65. I'm really enjoying it so far, and as I am reading it, the images of the movie come to my head, and it's a very nice experience. The writing style is very simple, since I think it's targeted for kids. I think the author has done an amazing job at capturing the feeling of the small town and how the school works and how they're not as progressive as nearby towns maybe, and how every new update that the rest of the world has received has not yet reached that small town. And I can relate to that because I am from a small village, and it is true. Jesse's character is very, very well rounded. As the only boy in a family with 4 other sisters, he is struggling to gain his father's approval. Like his father wants his son to be this macho boy who is only interested in sports, and also he is doing stuff at home like work and chores and stuff. And when he told his father that he wants to be an artist when he grows up, his father was like, no, I don't want my son to be. Also, it baffles my mind that Mabel, the younger sister of Jesse, is portrayed by the same actress in the movie that plays in the cancelled TV show Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. The main character, Imogen, she plays Imogen, and oh my god, when I found that out, I was shook. Mabel is very, very cute, and she wants to be involved in everything, and she follows Jesse around, and he teases her about grammar and stuff, and it's just really funny. It's just a very genuine sibling relationship, and you can tell that when these two grow up, they're gonna be the best of friends. The school is structured in a way all American small town schools are, and kids are very mean to each other, and you know that they carry the stereotypes that their parents have. Like, you can see the parents through their kids, and it's just, oh my god, it's so annoying to see the bullies, like Gary, for example, or Janice. Janice bullies Jesse and Leslie for a single seat at the school bus. It's very realistic, unfortunately, and I remember why Janice treats people like that, and it is sad, but I think kids will see themselves in this book, and I'm glad I saw this movie as a kid. So yeah, there's that. So I've reached the part where they cross on the other side of the river in the forest with the rope scene later. And I remember in the movie where Leslie told Jesse, don't just do it for the sake of doing it just because you have to get to the other side. Feel it as you're doing it, like you're floating, and close your eyes or just look up at the sky, and then Jesse does it, and he has the sensation that he's floating, and it just reminded me of how simple things in life can improve our days if we pay attention to them more, or if we build it in our head in a way that we find excitement in those things. Because many things seem mundane, yes, and we probably do them or see them every day, but that does not mean that the excitement is not there. We are so consumed by our everyday problems, and our brains are functioning in a way that does not benefit us really, because we only think of the job that we have to do today, or the chores that we have to do, or I don't know, and we don't pay attention to stuff that will make us happy and will make our day. And this is maybe the message that this book has to address to adults, and I'm glad I'm reading it. I'm glad I decided to pick this book up. Okay, so I should probably get some more reading done, because I want to get done with this book today because it is very short and it is very enjoyable. So yeah, I will go back to reading and I will let you know when I have a new update. So I've changed my location so I can be more comfortable while I read the rest of the book. I'm in my bed. This is the book. And I will keep reading for an hour maybe. I don't know how much time I need to finish this, but yeah, I will let you know. Alexa, play Como la Flor. Update. I have made my coffee. I am on page 130. I'm really loving this book so far. It's the afternoon, but it's not taking that long to be honest. I'm just taking breaks because I had to cook. I had some scrambled eggs with cottage cheese and a salad, if you were wondering. I'm in my skinny era at the moment, and the more I read this book, the more I think that it is not suitable for kids. Yes, the themes really resonate with kids, I think. For example, how Jesse is seeing Leslie's family compared to his, and how uncomfortable that he felt when he visited Leslie's house, and how chill her parents were, and they asked him to call them by their first names and not Mrs. and Mr. Blank, and how Jesse's parents are treating their kids, always yelling at them, always letting them know that they are ungrateful and calling them names. I really want to give Mabel a hug. She is such a sweetheart and she doesn't deserve to be yelled at. The other thing that I was thinking about is how in the movie Jesse's and Leslie's relationship evolves more naturally, more organically, and in this book it took about 10 pages for Jesse to go from hating Leslie because she beat him in the race to being her best friend. And it wasn't as organic, but there's only so much you can do in 170 pages. One thing I really like in this book, and it really reminds me of my childhood, is how these kids have created their own kingdom, and they're just in Terabithia and imagining that they're king and queen of Terabithia, and how they interpret different things that happen around them, like the rain. There were a couple of days that the weather was rainy all the time, and Leslie felt like there was a curse upon the kingdom and that they needed to perform a ritual to reverse it. And it really reminds me of me, my brother, and my cousin. We were playing a game where we were soldiers and we had elemental magic, and each one of us had to pick 2 or 3 elements that we controlled, and we fought invisible enemies. And it's very fun to read, and the nostalgic feeling that I expected to be feeling while reading this book is very strong. Right now, I'm about to start a chapter named The Perfect Day, which, if you have seen the movie or if you've read the book, you know what happens. And it also has been foreshadowed in the previous chapter, like when they went to the church. And Mabel, spoiler alert, I will hold my coffee until the spoiler is over, so you can mute the video until my coffee is out of the frame. When they visited the church, Mabel said that if you do not believe in Jesus Christ, you're going to hell when you die. And Leslie said that she doesn't believe. And Mabel said, "But what will happen when you die, Leslie?" Okay, spoilers are over. I'm about to finish the book. I have about 40 pages left, which will take me about maybe 30 or 45 minutes. I will return to give my final update and thoughts. Also, I'm gonna take a quick break from the reading vlog just to mention my TBR for the month of March, since today that I'm filming is March 1st. I'm not really a TBR kind of guy, like I don't set myself a TBR every month because I'm a mood reader and I do not like to plan. But I have a few reads that I will definitely be reading this month. Hopefully I will be reading more than that, more than those books. We'll see. So the first one, of course, is Bridge to Terabithia, which I'm almost done with. The second book is my book club pick of the month. I have a book club with my friends, and this month we are reading The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi, which is a gorgeous cover. This edition, I got it from Waterstones, and it is stunning. It is beautiful. This is the March pick for our book club. This is a pirate book. I think a female pirate is the lead. I'm not sure what happens in the book, and I don't want to learn more about it before going in. I predict that this will be a good read for me. Then I want to read Onyx Storm because I want to be done with that series, at least for the books that are out. I'm not a very big fan of the series. I like them. They are entertaining, but quality-wise, not so much. But I want to read it to see what happens. The final book that I want to read is Sunrise on the Reaping. Not much to say for this book. Everyone knows about it. I can't wait. I'm sure I will devour it as soon as it comes out. I'm actually in the process of listening to the first 3 books of The Hunger Games. Hopefully I will be finishing them before the release of Sunrise on the Reaping, but we'll see. If I don't, it's not a big deal because I'm pretty sure I remember all the important details of that series, so it's okay. Okay, back to the reading vlog.
One eternity later.
I have finished this book. Even though I knew what was going to happen, it was devastating. It hit me right in the heart like an arrow. This book, I can safely say that I would allow my kid to read this book just because of the themes and everything that this book stands for. I really liked seeing Jesse throughout the book because even though it is a very short book, he's a complete different person by the end of the book, and Leslie has a lot to do with that. And I also highlighted a quote that it killed me while reading it. Let me find it. So, spoiler again, probably this section will be full of spoilers, so sorry about that. When Leslie died and Jesse went with his parents at Leslie's parents' house to pay their respects, this is one of Jesse's thoughts. She had made him leave his old self behind and come into her world, and then, before he was really at home in it, but too late to go back, she had left him stranded there, like an astronaut wandering about on the moon, alone. And this quote, oh my god, this is such an amazing quote to describe Jesse and Leslie's relationship, because Leslie really helped Jesse come in touch with his feelings and find his true self and express it, and not be afraid to express it. Actually, it's like that quote people say all the time, that people come into our lives for a reason. Whether they will stick around or not, by the end of our relationship with them, something will have changed within us. And this message, I think, should be addressed to kids. And kids should allow themselves to change and should allow themselves to be inspired by other people, and should always be themselves and try to find their inner strength and always follow their dreams. Like Leslie pushed Jesse into drawing more and embracing the artist that is within him, even though his parents do not approve. I'm really happy that I picked up this book. I think everyone should read it because it only took about 2 or 3 hours for me to read it. It's very short. I'm not an emotional person, but this book really broke my heart. I think I will be watching the movie later today just so I can have the full experience. So yeah, these were my thoughts on Bridge to Terabithia. I hoped you enjoyed this video. I hoped you received a good recommendation for a future read. If you reached this part of the video, thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel so you can get notified about when I post new videos. and I will see you next week with another video. Thank you again. Goodbye.